have 10 plus Indian women global leaders from the top families in India being speaker at our event. So that shows that what you're doing and what I'm doing in our way, we're sort of creating a movement, we're getting that change along, which is really, really important.
Access is everything because you have an opportunity to learn, you have an opportunity to partner, build, and grow. I think it's sort of the best way to continue to expand opportunities and to be able to grow your own community, your business, because the more you know and the more access you have. I would say there's a saying is you only live once, but the reality is you only die once. So get busy living because you're gonna die. No, but no, just live your best life. Figure out what your God purpose is and just do it, live into it, and don't let anybody take you from your mission.
So I'm Stuti Jalan, founder of Women Inspiring Network. Of course, I've known you, Adrianne. We met in Cannes. And so it's a global not-for-profit, which is on women leadership. We do 4 discussions around the world. In 2025, we kick-started at Davos. And of course, our event is very intimate, 60 people in Davos in 2025. Then we did India. June for us was Cannes. September is New York and Climate Week. And I must share something with you. So Adrianne, 2 years back was my first Davos in 2024. And you don't know this, but I came to the Inkwell Beach and I was like, wow, this is beautiful. So that gave me inspiration. So our very event, which is on Thursday, it's here at Shadzal. Of course not here because I love the main stage here. But I'm so glad that we're getting this chance to talk about our podcast. So our podcast is Win Voices Podcast, which is in Davos, India, Cannes, and New York. And so Adrianne, of course, I know you're a communication expert, and so am I. But you've founded Inkwell Beach. So I just wanted to, tell our audience back in India and globally, like, what was the thought behind Inkwell Beach? What made you kickstart this? And it's amazing. I love it. I love it every single year, and especially the Magic Mountains over here. So thank you so much. But please tell me about how it came about. And
I love being on the other side to answer questions of how did this get started, and we can actually capture it. But one thing that you said, you mentioned that shows that the success of the Inkwell effect. The inspiration that inspired you to do something that you had not imagined doing, but you did, and you came back into this space. And that's the whole point and purpose of Inkwell and why I started, which is the CAN Diversity Collective. I had an opportunity to go to the Cannes Lions Festival of Creativity for the first time in 2017. And if anyone knows that festival, it is a festival of 20,000 creatives. It's an award show. It's like the Oscars of the advertising industry. And out of the 20,000 people that were in attendance, only 200 looked like me. And mind you, this organization and this festival had been going on for 60 years, 60 plus years. So again, out of 20,000, only 200 looked like me. And what was interesting is the conversation, a lot of it was about how could the festival be more inclusive? And I literally thought that was a trick question of what do you mean, how could the festival be more inclusive? All you have to do is invite people here, let them know this festival exists, and trust me, people would come, right? So that year I decided to bring some young people to the festival. I'm a firm believer in succession planning and understanding that the future is all the young people that come after us. And when I tell you those young people that we brought over, it was 5, they participated in the Young Lions Festival, and I was ear hustling on some of the deans, and they were part of this cohort, and they were talking about these 2 black girls from America who had just changed the trajectory of the conversation and just uplifted and inspired them so much that they had never seen the energy like that before. And being the nosy one I am, I said, well, excuse me, who are you talking about? And they said, Alex and Jenna, and those were 2 of the young women that I brought to the festival. So imagine you having an impact on this large festival by bringing young people, and they change that trajectory of conversation. And then more importantly, what one of the young ladies said was, thank you so much for bringing me to this festival, because it's the first time that I realized that I could compete on an international level, or that I had the opportunity to live somewhere else outside of the U.S. So that just sort of, changed my whole perspective of why we were doing this. And to bring in why Inkwell Beach, we decided, well, we needed a place at the festival. And so we decided to create a space called Inkwell Beach, named after Martha's Vineyard, Inkwell Beach, which is like a sacred space of bringing communities of color together, where we come every summer in August or August, September, July, just to be able to regroup, recalibrate, and then go back into the world to continue to change it. So bringing that same energy to a festival like Cannes, where you don't get the opportunity or have access to some of the brightest brains in the world and minds of the world, and doing the same thing here in Davos. It's all about creating access and opportunity. So that's my long-winded way of saying we're connecting communities and culture, providing access and opportunity for others to experience globally what everyone else is experiencing.
So I love your thought, Adrian. I must say that, and I'm going to gush a bit, but I must tell you, at Cannes this year, you were there at the Win Lounge, and we had a speaker from India, and she got India's first gold for her campaign, Ink of Democracy. I mean, it has a connect. But she said, Stuti, I'm so glad you're doing, because there were only a handful of Indians at the Cannes festival, at the Creativity Festival, because you've been going for years. So if you know what I mean. And she said it's so good because, what the Win Lounge itself is doing is also getting more Indians activated. Last year was our inaugural event here at Davos, and I again just had a handful of women at our event. But this year I have 10 plus Indian women global leaders from the top families in India being speaker at our event. So that shows that what you're doing and what I'm doing, in our way, we're sort of creating a movement, we're getting that change along, which is really, really important. And I'm so glad that we have that synergy. And of course, I have much more to learn from you, but thank you. So tell me, how has it been so different? You run a communication business, you work with some of the global brands, there is the Inkwell Beach, so how do you manage the two?
Very carefully. No, we have a great team of volunteers. If you've seen Cheyenne, Cameron Pruitt, shout her out, Juan Woodbury, Tape is here, our photographer in the back, Arturo. We just have a lot of people who are committed to the cause and they're committed to the success of providing information to people who don't have that access. So it's getting and working with partners who care about the same thing that you care about, so it's almost synonymous, and you're embedding the work and the culture to what you do. So the partnership is key. Create a group of folks. They say some of your kinfolk aren't your skinfolk aren't your kinfolk all the time, but finding a community of people who have the same values, who believe in creating a more equitable community, a more accessible community, giving space and voice, creating a psychologically safe space for people to exist, and you'll see how your community will continue to grow the same way this community is growing.
Yes, and I also wanted to sort of ask, why is physical access, which is very important to global spaces, like Davos also is really important because, the underrepresented companies sort of come together. It has a lot of diversity. We see so many people across. So why is that so important in today's time?
Access is everything, because you have an opportunity to learn, you have an opportunity to partner, build, and grow. I think it's sort of the best way to continue to expand opportunities and to be able to grow your own community, your business, because the more you know and the more access you have, the greater opportunity you have to grow. And I think it's as simple as that. Access breeds opportunity, breeds growth. It allows other people to learn from you, because they say, how dare you keep your knowledge to yourself? You have to share and keep people to give the opportunity to grow.
And pay it forward.
100%.
Yeah, and you've also said inclusion is not optional, and there are many companies around the world sometimes where it just becomes like a checkbox. So how do we change that?
It's more about action. You can check any box, and I say you do less talking about it, because we know these conversations are more difficult to have. The language has to shift a bit. So it's all about leading by example, and I think that's what you're doing and what we're trying to continue to do when there's sort of an uncertainty around how do we continue to operate and support one another. Just keep doing the great work, because it's the critical part that's going to make everything else successful for you.
Yeah. And tell me what in your journey, like what has been the hardest thing for you to shift things, especially at the top? Like how do you do the mindset shift? Like how has that happened?
So I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I think after this story, I think it's our wrap because they're giving me the cue for the next one. But I could not stop this work if I tried. I've understood and found out that this work is a part of my DNA. If anybody has done a part of their sort of, what do you call this, DNA test, and I did one that was called African Ancestry, and they discovered that my family is from Sierra Leone, and within the Sierra Leone country, there's a group called the Mende tribe. Within the Mende tribe, there's a secret society of women called Sandy. And the secret society of women were responsible for ushering in the next generation of everything from women to young. But imagine finding out after all of this work that I've been doing and wondering, why is this so difficult, but I'm keep trying and I can't stop if I wanted to. It's because it's a part of my DNA. It's a natural, authentic part of what I do. So I couldn't stop if I wanted to. So it's a part of my purpose. It's a part of, and I think that's the same thing you have to lead into or lean into is what is your purpose and point. And once you discover like who you are, where you're from, what your purpose is, then the easier your life becomes. This gift that we have, I say living in life is a gift of experience. And so the more you experience and the more you're able to share your purpose, your God-given purpose or your higher power purpose, the better you are and the better people are able to see you do what you do and they're able to do what they do.
Yeah, and on that note, I would just want our viewers with one last winning message for all those women out there. And can we just stand and quickly do this?
Sure.
Yeah. So yeah, just like a winning message for all those women out there, and how can we inspire more women to sort of take the leap of faith?
I would say there's a saying is you only live once, but the reality is you only die once. So get busy living because you're gonna die. No, but no, just live your best life. Figure out what your God purpose is and just do it, live into it, and don't let anybody take you from your mission.
But thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you.